My apologies. That was such a rookie thing that happened. I ran out of storage on my other iPad. So let's finish up. I was talking about Lawrence O'Donnell on MSNBC on Wednesday night when he was breaking down on the air. He was having a hard time composing himself as he was talking about the video of the surveillance camera and the Uvalde and the Robb Elementary School. When a society is not looking after its children, when a civilization is not looking after its children, we're in murky waters. We're in dangerous territory. So let's just take a look at, is what happened in Uvalde going to make some serious changes occur in this country around guns? Those poor, really, really pray for those people and their families. It's just, and pray for our country too. The world is watching. I think that we are going to see gun reform. I think that this was like the next level. I know that there were more shootings over the weekend. I know. I told you 5 times a day at least, I shake my head and I go, I cannot believe this is the United States of America. The world is watching. It looks like there is going to be more. I do see a ban on assault weapons. I do see that. It's going to be a little while. It's going to be a couple months, but I do see that. This is going to, what we're finding out as we find out more and more, and the corruption in the Texas government included, we're going to have so much evidence and so much of a case for gun laws, and pray for massive gun buyback programs in the United States. We need to get all those AR-15s, all those assault weapons collected. Everyone who voluntarily turn them in and send them to Ukraine. Seriously. Okay. I'm not going to keep you too much longer because I don't want to go through the frustration of my... This iPad shouldn't fill up. Okay. Anyway, I have a list. And it's lengthy. So, we're going to take a look at the... let's take a look at what's going to happen as a result of these hearings. The hearing on Thursday is what's going to happen. Let's take a look at some cards about the outcome. That's not the first time I've run out of storage. It's just, I need to back it up. Okay. Okay. As a result of the January 6th committee hearings, I have the world again. Things converge, come together in a way where they can't be pulled apart again. I mean, I'm talking about evidence. We're actually going to look better in the face of the world that we're taking action. January 6th committee on Thursday. There is an outcome. Donald Trump is guilty as charged. I know that's not what's going on Thursday, but it will lead to that. There it is. See? She has a vision. She has a vision. There's a lion there. The lion will roar. We're in Leo. We're in the sign of Leo right now. The January 6th committee on Thursday is going to be... I know I already kind of looked at that, but I wanted to look again. It's going to be blockbuster. When I say blockbuster, I mean a lot of people are going to be watching. A ton. Now, let's take a look at whether Trump really... I know it's a yes or no, but I don't know where my pendulum is. Once again, it's kind of my thing. I lose my pendulums. It's trademark. So is he... I'm going to look at the cards about him throwing his hat into the ring. If America allows him to run for president, I'm sorry to say this, but we deserve what we get. I know it's a terrible thing to say. But we should not be allowing him to run for president. And every one of us needs to be writing a letter to our senators and congresspeople and the DOJ and Joe Biden and that he should not be allowed. Okay, so he won't be. I actually feel like he's going to think about it and think about it and think about it, think about, you know, saying he's running for president. But the magician, he thinks that he can fix it. Donald Trump thinks that he can fix things so that he can go ahead and run for president. It's Fani Willis. There's something going down in Georgia that is going to crush him. And Ivana from the other side now is going to crush him. I don't know. She had a bone to pick with him. I'm not sure what it was. I don't know the history. I didn't really ever follow the Trump family. I'm not sure what it was. But man, Ivana, you know, I'm not saying that souls on the other side, when they cross over into the spirit realm, that they hear me out. They're not vindictive. But they can contribute to justice and truth happening. I know there are cases where if somebody was murdered, that the deceased on the other side led the investigators to the crime, to the murderer. I know that's happened. So there's no reason why Ivana from the other side can't get the truth revealed about her ex-husband. I see it happening. Let's look at global climate change. Is there going to be, maybe not in America right now, like I just read on that with the Joe Manchin thing, although I do see it swinging around, like I said, and there's going to be some changes made so that we can show that we're working on combating global climate change. So there's going to be a lot of suffering because we've done nothing. I'll get to some good news in a minute, I think. I hope. There's a lot of suffering. The climate, the globe is warming up, and nobody's doing a thing to stop it. And we have the technology to do something to stop it, but collectively we haven't. And the United States of America, that used to lead the way, has got to step it up. These are stalled negotiations, obviously. That's what that card is about. I actually think it's this global climate change issue, I see it becoming a spiritual issue, a spiritual crisis, an ethical issue, an existential issue. It's going to start being shown as these are human beings that are violating our right to exist on the planet. And I actually see, I know this is maybe crazy, but people that stand for God starting to speak out. Like, for instance, the Pope. There's nothing about what your opinion of the Pope is. I'm just saying, people in positions of like spiritual leaders, traditional spiritual leaders, are going to start speaking out about what are we doing to humanity. It's crazy what I see about that. I see this summer being the summer of a ruckus around global climate change. And I do see about 8 hurricanes coming up the coast of the United States of America. Get your hurricane stuff prepared. Hurricanes, actually, as vicious as they are, they scare me slightly less than tornadoes, but I'm just saying, in terms of what terror they create, tornadoes, just because they have that vacuum cleaner effect. But anyway, they're both equally as bad. Flooding is terrible. Are the American people going to wake up and vote Democrat? Because you know what? It's game over for the planet if we vote for Republicans. Get involved. Well, I see a lot of loss. And I see a lot of emotions. But the emotions could lead us, all the pain The emotions will lead us in a different direction, but it's a shame that we have to suffer instead of doing the right thing, right? Instead of electing officials and public servants that will do the right thing, because that's all that this is about. Electing public officials to do the right thing. So let's see what else about that. It won't be, we'll have suffering, and then we see leadership that's going to take charge. It's in a nutshell, all this suffering will happen before it's palatable to the American people to survive. Yeah, I know. The case will have to be made for it being more palatable to survive, or to at least not lose all your property. Put it like that. We're not thinking about future generations. Not good. Okay. Couple more things and then I'll let you go. I apologize that this is going to be broken up into 2 videos, but it's alright. It's alright. Let's see. I'm looking at my list on the floor. We're going to take a look at, before we go, we're going to take a look at, as many psychics have told you, a lot of women are going to die from these abortion bans. I'm sorry to break the news to everybody, but it's not what you don't already know. So we're just going to look at, I told you all the snags. Doesn't take a psychic. All the snags. I did see it psychically. All the lawsuits, all the confusing laws. It is a... Let's look at the Supreme Court, actually. Let's look at the Supreme Court before we look at the, if these heinous laws against women will be turned back. The Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is feeling kind of alone. The Supreme Court has really screwed up. We'll put it that way. The vengeance that's going to be wrought in the Supreme Court. I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking about people really being horribly hurt by these overturning Roe v. Wade. And justice is coming. This is going to destroy the Supreme Court. What they've done with Roe v. Wade is going to destroy the Supreme Court. I mean it. And speaking of destroying the Supreme Court, let's take a look at Jenny Thomas. I do think she's going to have to show up at one of those hearings. I think Jenny Thomas will have to show up at one of the hearings. So let's see. Yeah, I see there's going to be death. There's going to be a lot of chaos. There's going to be some, crazy people showing up at the states where abortion is still legal. It's gonna be crazy, and the Supreme Court is just gonna be, it's gonna fall apart. Okay. Jenny Thomas, all the evidence, 6 of Swords. For a second, I forgot what the question was, and then the 6 told me that. Oh yeah, you're asking about January 6th and Jenny Thomas. Yeah. There's she's going to try to dance her way out of testifying at a hearing, but she will, I feel like an indirect, I'm not really seeing her in the hearing room, but I am seeing her in a deposition. Jenny Thomas is she's going to show herself to be guilty. And her husband. And I see him sick and stepping down. Now, one more thing is women. What are the women going to do? What are the women doing next? What are the women doing next? The women are in a lot of stuck negotiations. Joe Biden is going to do something to loosen up the grip of these abortion bans. And the men are going to step forward, men in positions of power, to help the women, especially when they start going after contraception, especially when they're doing something like, I heard Marco Rubio was actually seeing if he could get a law made that men have to pay child support from the moment of conception. Good luck with that. And if you're wondering if they're going to have dogs sniffing out to find out if a woman is pregnant, I don't think it's going to go that far, but tracking apps where a woman tracks her cycle, I do see some very valiant attempts to go ahead and get that enacted. And but it's not going to become, they're not going to have long-standing success with these, this taking away of women's rights. We are in tumultuous times. We can make it through. It's going to be okay. Before I let you go, we have to take a peek at Ukraine. Real quick. I'm trying to think of a happy topic. I'm hard pressed. Once in a while this happens. Okay. NATO is going to make a difference. Having Finland and Sweden now, NATO is going to make a difference. That's what I can tell you about Ukraine. NATO is going to make a difference. That's. I'm just going to tell you that. NATO will make a difference. Real quick, what's going to happen to Vlad? He is Satan incarnate. Vlad is Satan incarnate, and he's seeing what he can do with Iran. But I don't feel like those meetings are really happening for some reason. We'll do a deeper dive into that eventually. Putin knows he's losing, but he's bluffing. Yeah, this is the power of the Western world. And I actually see a pretty big threat coming from the Western world that actually causes him to continue bluffing, but not do things that he's bluffing about. So, two cards. Let me just pick. I'll pick a few cards for the week. I'll do my best to show up for a short video on Wednesday, but usually I run out of time. But definitely Wednesday with Corey, 6:30 Eastern time. You don't have to stay for the whole thing. Live. I don't watch the whole thing. 3 cards for the week. Go inward, learn how to relax. That's what the Hermit is. Learn to meditate. This card is really screaming at me. Learn to meditate. Just meditate. Just sit. It's not complicated, because we need people to be settled down. We need the energy to be settled down. Please listen to the sermon of Church of Spirituality. Don't get in a hurry about anything. Calm your jets this week. These are our community cards. And the King of Pentacles, I actually see, in light of what the January 6th committee hearings are uncovering, that Joe Biden starts to look pretty good to a lot more people. He's a decent man. Thank goodness for the decent men. He grew up in a decent, respectful generation. We need more of that. And that's all I have for you tonight. I love you guys. Once again, I'm sorry I chopped up the video for tonight, but we're here. And if you'd like to book a reading, send an email to annettedionpsychic@gmail.com and we'll get you set up. And we're changing some things, so be patient about when we get back to you. We'll do our best. And lots of things are changing, so they're all good. We'll see you soon. Pat yourself on the back. Love yourself. Love your neighbors. Be kind, and know that sometimes a simple smile, if we all say that we're going to give someone a kind smile every day, then that's a lot of smiles. So keep the faith. Love you all. Namaste. See you soon.